Hello there. In this video we're looking at my water filtering system, which is pretty standard but it has a few cool features. Um, so over in my main base, this is my little water filtering shack, and so you got a pretty simple watering filtering system, but then it does have this extra bit over here which essentially one turns off the water when you run either low or run out of spanners, whatever you want. Uh, which is not that useful because when a filter breaks, the water stops flowing anyway. So my original idea, I think, was to try to when the filter would break, it would stop my machines getting damaged at all. But I don't think I realized when I built it that the water stops when the filter breaks. But it's still kind of cool, right? And the main thing is that it'll have a red flashing light turn on when it runs out of filters, which is quite handy because you'll be over kind of far away and be wondering why the water isn't on. You're like, did I turn it off at some point, or what happened? And you can just look over and immediately see you're out of filters, and you don't have to come over and check. You can just go off to the shop, buy some spanners. So it's kind of claustrophobic and hard to see things in here. So I got a scale model which I made, which we can look at to see how this thing actually works. Over here we can see the system. I'll explain how it works and then try to show nicely how some views which you can just build it from, although it's a little bit difficult, it's a bit messy in there. But if we hop into screenshot camera, we can change the time, make it a bit clearer. So the basic repair system that you can honestly just have on its own without all this other stuff back here is just this piece here, times 5. So it's a spanner hurler and a durability reader, and the durability reader just reads out the durability. So that comes up here to this flip hook, and while there's durability, aka it's not 0, it's always going to be turned into a 0, so it's not going to fire. And then when it is 0, it'll turn it to a 1. So this will fire, put the durability back up to 100, and then it'll be outputting 100, and it'll get turned to 0 again. And so to build the light system and the water valve system, you just need to take an output from up here on the very first filter, because that's the one that wears down the most. So you can know that when that one runs out, these will all still have spanners, but this one will always run out first, essentially. But it does mean you have to fill them up all at the same time. You can't just fill up this one and then keep going. So here we have a little adding circuit, and so that is essentially counting how many times the spanner hurler has fired. So each time a 1 comes up through here, meaning that this is at 0, it'll go into here and add to whatever in these Y's, which will be which is basically like a memory. So it'll come in, say this is on 2 already, it'll come in, output a 3 as it adds 1, and then this will be on 3, and then this will go back to 0. And the next time that it runs out of durability, it'll add another 1, and it'll add to 4, and then it will remember it, essentially. So what that means is that we can input on this pad how many spanners we want it to throw before it stops and turns on the light. So you could say 20 spanners if you're going to fill it all the way up, for instance. And then when this adding circuit adds to 20, which will be when it's completely out of spanners, it will equal this and and it'll output a 1 out here. And what that'll do is it'll go over here, it'll multiply by this keypad, which is just the color. I've got it set to red. And that will multiply by this line, which is just outputting a 1 and a 0, which basically just makes it flash. So those multiplications is this one's doing color, this one's doing flashing. And then your output will be right here on the top of this, and you can wire that up to a light anywhere you want, or multiple lights even, up to you. And so that's how it turns on the light. And then we have a reset button over here. Oh, actually, I should probably show. It will also, when it outputs 1, when it's turning it off, it'll come through here, go this way, turn into a 0, which means it'll close a valve, and come down here and close this valve. And then, once you come through, fill up all these spanner hurlers, which is quite easy because you can just run along. If you put like a path, like at this level, you just run along holding a spanner, and it'll just fill up whichever one you run into which doesn't have spanners. And so you just keep doing that, running along, grabbing a spanner bag, running along, filling it up. So when you come back, fill them all up and are ready to go again, you hit this button, sends out a 1 up here. Oh no, it does send out a 1 up here, which gets turned into a 0 by this flip hook. And so it basically resets this counter that's counting to 0. And then what else it'll do, it'll come down here, and a 1 opens a valve, so it'll come down here to this valve and open it. So the water flows again, the counter's reset to 0, and you're good to let it run down again. Is this all that useful? Not like massively useful, but it's kind of cool. It's nice having a light. It's fun little circuit to build and to like understand, and like knowing how to get a counter and stuff is all like pretty handy. Oh man, the day's really running away on me. Crazy. I do kind of wish that water did keep flowing when your filter broke, so that there was more reason to try to like build a circuit to turn the water off when your thing breaks, and because like it happens so rarely anyway, because 20 spanners last a long time. Yeah, I don't know, that'd be kind of cool. I would like that. I built a machine to do that already, so you know, it'd be cool if it was a bit more useful. But anyway, I also just have a little manual valve here because it's nice to be able to turn off the water manually sometimes if you want to turn it off. So to show how to build this, we can kind of separate it into 2 main slices. The slice out the back here, which here's a screenshot of it, and it's got the connection points where it connects to the like next slice, highlighted red. And then if we look at the next slice, you can kind of break it down. There's this bit over here, which is the multiplication for the light and the flashing, and so that's just light in there and flashing in there, and it's just got that one flip-flop hook that's important. And then that connects over here to the output of the comparing wire, and that just goes up to the adding circuit here, and then up to the button over here, and you just have 2 hooks on that wire is a little bit important. And then over here we just have the valve coming in the bottom, the keypad going in the middle and down and into there, and then the button coming in and up. So that's pretty much it. Make sure you have a 0 or a validator, I think it's a validator hook, no zeros hook on this one, so that you don't get zeros constantly popping out. And yeah, that's how it works. So hopefully that's all fairly clear if you want to actually build this machine. So yeah, enjoy, and bye-bye.